What you have to do as you go through life is get rid of the small lies. And the small lies are happening all the time because life is more convenient with the small white lies here and there. Costco is not going to mark up anything more than 15%. And the end result of that is many of us are fanatical about Costco. Current CEO started as a forklift operator, so people build whole careers there. There's a new age guru in Sedona, Arizona. He's passed away now, David Hawkins. And he wrote this book called Power versus Force. And when I recommend this book to people I know, I get kind of one of two reactions. They're either ready to throw the book at me, hoping it hurts me, or they love it. I never get a reaction saying, it was okay. I'll never get kind of a middle reaction. I'll get just extreme reactions, one end or the other end. So David Hawkins has this perspective on, we think of the truth as being binary, kind of 1 or 0. You're either lying or saying the truth. But that's not really how the truth and lies work. It's actually on a log scale. So if we look at this graph and you go in the top right-hand end of the graph, that's where you might have Jesus and Buddha hanging out, extreme truth leading to extreme trust, right? So we just kind of, us humans aren't going to get there, but that's at the extreme end. That's kind of aspirational. Then you go a little bit below that and you get to people like Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger, which is as high as you can get as a capitalist. And then if you go significantly below that, you get to many of us. And it's very important in life to try to move as far to the right of that curve as you can. Because as you move further right on that curve, the payoffs are exponential. I'll give you an example of kind of why this is not binary. Because all of us think, I always say the truth, I'm not a deceitful person and all of that. But let's say my partner and I are going to go out on date night and she's ready and she asks me, how do I look? Right? And now let's say I think the dress isn't that great, And I know that if I say that the dress isn't great, you should change your dress, right? That might be the end of the date night. So the pre-David Hawkins Mohnish would have said, you look great, let's go, right? And the post-David Hawkins Mohnish will not want to deal with the white lies. And I'll just say that I don't think the dress is great. I think you should change the dress, right? And it may lead to no date that night, which is fine. But what's going to happen over time is the trust is going to go up big time. So what you have to do as you go through life is get rid of the small lies. And the small lies are happening all the time because life is more convenient with the small white lies here and there. So as you start, and if you start thinking about this thing, then you'll start seeing that there's just a spectrum. It's just not 0 or 1, and moving towards the right is not that easy. So if we look at a place like Costco, for example, they have a rule that nothing gets marked up more than 15%, no matter what kind of deal they get. So sometimes, I think one time this actually happened where they got a very large batch of Levi's jeans and a closeout, and they got them really cheap, like, $14 a piece or something. And the team was wanting to price it significantly below retail, which was maybe, $50, $60. So they could have priced it at $30, for example, and they would have flown off the shelves. And Jim Sinegal, the founder, CEO, did not allow them to do that. He said, we can't do that because once we start doing that, first of all, we violated trust. And his buyers and team was telling him, Jim, there's a lot of money being left on the table. And he said, we just can't do that. And so Costco's not going to mark up anything more than 15%. And the end result of that is many of us are fanatical about Costco, right? And we're fanatical because that trust is in there. And that trust doesn't get built in 1 day or 2 days. It's just cascading sets of actions which lead to that trust. And Costco, they pay their people more than all the other retailers, a lot more than Walmart pays. They have very low turnover. People stay for a long time. The current CEO started as a forklift operator, so people build whole careers there. So it's not just the customers, they take care of the vendors, they take care of the employees. And so it's just a great ecosystem with all the trust that's been built in.